Okay, we are ready to begin. Thank you.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm going to go ahead and kick us off. I'm so thrilled to be with you all today. Many of you may know me by name via the many emails that I send related to career pathways or the ECE scholarship program, but I'm really excited to be with you today. My name is Allison Comport, and I work at the Department of Early Education and Care. I wanted to know a little bit more about who is with us today. If you wouldn't mind putting in the chat your role and then also where in the state you're located, that would be great. We've got some coaches, folks from Acton, teachers, directors, Sudbury, Medford, Canton, Attleboro, Fall River, Metro West. Let's see, Eastern Mass, Worcester. I was going to say, where are my Western Mass folks? Somerville, Greenfield, awesome. Middlesex, North Shore. Great. Another North Shore, Southeast. Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us. It looks like we've got a really diverse group and so excited to have you all here with us today. I did want to point you all to, in the chat, you should see that there's a link to the EEC strategic planning portal. I did just want to make note that there's a couple of exciting events that are happening next week that you all likely don't want to miss out on. So I'll make sure to also pop that in again. I know sometimes it gets lost in the scroll. So let me do that now for you all. Okay, there it is again. And let's see, Eli, if you could bring up our slide deck, I'm going to go ahead and kick us off today. Okay, wonderful. So thank you again. So we are here to talk to you about a very exciting new initiative. And I really wanted to ground us in a bit of an introduction. So at EEC, we recognize that both within the state as well as nationally, it's been incredibly challenging hiring and supporting educators entering this field. We recognize that for the post-pandemic stability of the field, we will need to grow the early care and education workforce, as well as further support those working in the field with accessing higher education and in advancing their careers. EEC has worked to identify the pain points among the field. And we know that individuals are interested in working in this profession, but they don't know where to start. That programs have groups of educators interested in taking courses, but they can't find availability. And I hear all the time from the colleges that I work with that they have offerings and cohorts that they're looking to fill, but they can't seem to locate the educators before the courses start. As EEC works to expand the workforce and take someone's interest in this field and turn it into a true pathway, we are implementing multiple strategies to build and support the workforce. Next slide. Great. Many of you have probably already seen EEC's strategic plan pillars and the associated educator goal. However, as a reminder, we're grounding our work with the focus on ensuring that early childhood and the out-of-school time workforce is professionally prepared, well-supported, culturally and linguistically representative of the population that those educators serve. The initiative that we're going to be sharing more about today is grounded in these tenets. EEC, in partnership with neighborhood villages, will work to support access to professional preparation programs that meet both educator and employers' needs. Next slide. Oh, next slide. No, sometimes there's a little lag. Let's see. Oh, back one. There we go. Okay. EEC's strategic educator initiatives are focused on providing support to educators in retaining these professionals in our field and in building a new educator credentialing framework and their associated pathways. This work has centered around investments in professional development and technical assistance, such as initiatives that I'm sure you're familiar with, including the PDCs and ECSOs, as well as the re-envisioned registry. Next slide. However, today, as we focus on access to higher education and preparation programs, as well as the workforce pipeline and educator recruitment, you'll notice that those are the top and then the right boxes within this diagram. We will be focusing in on the investments EEC is making into Massachusetts community colleges in order to support the availability of a variety of courses that meet the linguistic, educational, and delivery formats needed in the field. These courses are available in multiple languages, online, face-to-face, and blends of the two, with a menu of academic and non-academic support, such as tutoring, financial assistance for books and laptops, and costs for CDA application fees. However, despite these investments, EEC identifies that there has still been an unmet need in matching potential and existing educators with the programs and supports that they're interested in. There are many educators who have struggled to understand the steps to take in connecting to these resources that are available and in working through the enrollment and application processes. So in response, EEC is working to build bridges at the systems level. After a pilot in the Boston area, EEC is newly funding neighborhood villages to expand its navigation and support models statewide. Through online and phone advising, neighborhood villages will support the navigation and access of higher education development opportunities across the state of Massachusetts. In this way, individuals, programs, and entities such as career and technical education, early childhood programs, workforce development boards, and others can seamlessly connect with institutions offering higher education courses that meet their needs. To learn more about this exciting initiative, I'm going to turn it over to my partner and colleague at Neighborhood Villages, Binal Patel. Binal?
Thank you, Allison. Eli, we can go to next slide. Thank you. So my name is Binal Patel. I am the Chief Program Officer at Neighborhood Villages, and I'm very excited to be here this afternoon to discuss with all of you this very exciting new initiative, Professional Pathways. Before working at Neighborhood Villages, I was a program director myself of a small center-based program, and before that, an early educator for many years. Supporting educators and program administrators is my passion and what drives a lot of my work, both short-term in this pandemic and workforce crisis, but also long-term as we work together in building a successful system that supports all educators and children and families. Some of the programs that you all may be familiar with that Neighborhood Villages has worked on is the COVID-19 pool testing program for EEC licensed providers, the business training program for licensed FCC and center-based administrators, advocacy efforts such as the No One Is Coming to Save Us podcast, a pilot early education school district in Boston, which we call the Neighborhood, and the pilot program in Boston, which Allison mentioned through the Career Pathways Grant. Next slide. So as Allison mentioned, we are very excited to be here to partner with the Department of Early Education and Care for the Professional Pathways program. Neighborhood Villages has piloted a program in the Boston area since 2019, connecting educators and the coursework they need to get licensed or advance their careers, specifically concentrating on removing barriers to access. Over the past 2 years of this pilot, and certainly in my role as a director before that, we've learned how many students and providers don't always know about the resources and opportunities that are provided, such as the Career Pathways Grant, the EEC Scholarship, and in general, the many pathways that exist for educators towards a certificate, a credential, a CDA, and associates in a higher education degree. With this partnership with EEC, we're excited to launch this program today and the website where we can now support educators and students statewide in accessing the information and the resources they need to connect to the courses and higher ed pathways that they're looking for. The EEC Professional Pathways program will be a resource and a hub at the intersection of students and educators, EEC programs, and the higher ed partners and workforce coursework providers such as the CTE and workforce development boards. Next slide. The first group and the first audience, the students and educators who are looking to either start a career in the field of early education and care and family child care and out of school time, or are already working in the field and looking to advance their career or credential or a degree. If you are a student, you can now visit the website, which we will post in the chat, and I will also walk through at the end of the slides. The website is eecprofessionalpathways.com. Students can now visit this website and on the students page, learn about information about the program, and then click on the Get Started button, which is on the right. There's a very basic inquiry form on this button that asks about demographic information and contact information and the general needs of what the student is looking for. A student support associate from Neighborhood Villages, or I'm going to say SSA for short, will then be in touch to learn more about the student's educational goals, previous courses that they've taken, professional goals, whether they're currently employed or looking for employment, and a preferred learning method, whether it's online, in person, courses in a particular language, etc. Based on what the student's needs are and what their preferences are, our SSAs at Neighborhood Villages can then offer them options of different pathways to choose from, knowing what the different colleges and community colleges are offering. We would then ask you, the student, where your preference is to start, and make sure that we're able to connect you, the student, directly with the person at the colleges who can support you in learning more about the pathway, the wraparound supports, the financial supports, and answer any questions that you may have. We're going to make sure that the student is connected to the right person to begin their pathway, and even check in afterwards to make sure, were you successfully able to enroll in a course? Were there barriers in doing so? Did you want to connect again about another program? Essentially making sure that students are successful in being able to start on a pathway and get connected to the courses they need. Next slide. These were some of the frequently asked questions that have come up in some of the engagement sessions before and some of the webinars that have been done. So I just wanted to address them here. Will resources be available in other languages? I'm going to go through this when we do the demo of the website, but the website is translatable in multiple languages through the forums of Chrome and Safari using Google Translate. We will also have the website fully translated in Spanish and Portuguese in about a week, and that information is on the website. Our student support associates are also multilingual and native speakers in Spanish, Portuguese, and Arabic. So we really want to make sure that through this program and through our resources and support, we're able to connect with each student and really allow them to access what they need in multiple languages. Are there intersections between professional pathways and the Strong Start PDCs? The Strong Start PDCs provide trainings for the field. The Neighborhood Villages Professional Pathways program will connect students to their desired course for certification or degree pathway. If someone contacts us and is asking about trainings or professional development trainings, we would refer them to their local or regional PDC. How does Professional Pathways overlap with the Career Pathways Grant and the community colleges? So Neighborhood Villages is essentially serving as a call center or basically a central hub to support the connections with the community colleges. So the community colleges are going to continue to offer the programs that they offer, which includes courses through the grant, as well as certificate programs and degree programs. And the role of Neighborhood Villages is to serve as a resource to connect the students and the providers that are looking for courses to the right contact people at that college. What are the costs of the classes and how are they funded? This is a question that's often asked as well. There are already several courses and pathways which are funded through the Career Pathways Grant from EEC. Each college will also work with the student individually to assess if there are financial needs and options that are available through the college, such as the Financial Aid Office, a Pell Grant, and also the EEC scholarships as well. And are the courses that are being offered by the community colleges that Neighborhood Villages is connecting to, are they CEUs or college credits? So all the referrals and the options that we will share with students are for courses that are for college credit. And next slide. The second audience on the slide are the EEC programs and providers. So if you are an EEC program or provider, a larger program, or if you've worked with a group of programs in the area and have a group of students or a cohort of students who are ready and are looking for a course, you can also reach out to Neighborhood Villages through the same website and be connected to one of our professional pathway staff to help through the process of identifying a college that has the capacity to partner and add a section or a course in their semester. Neighborhood Villages will work collaboratively with EEC and with the colleges to identify one that is best suited to meet the needs of your cohort, and then work with you, the program, to ensure that those students are connected and able to start in that course. This would be, instead of a program, basically if you had 20 educators looking for a course, instead of trying to get each one of them enrolled in a course individually.
Where is the volume?
Sorry, Daddy just told me.
Instead of getting the students enrolled in a course individually, you could reach out to Neighborhood Villages and request an interest in having a cohort start a new section or a new course. And finally, the third audience, the higher education and workforce support providers. We're looking forward to connecting with and building partnerships with this sector, including high school career and technical education programs, workforce development boards, and others who support workforce development and are looking to connect with a resource on those looking to start a career in early education and care. We can connect with this group, and we're looking forward to connecting with this group around organizing a course for your particular audience, learning about the demands and the needs of the sector, and having individuals connected to a pathway that best meets their needs. There is also a section on the website for this group of providers to fill out an inquiry form and also be connected with a member of the professional pathways staff to learn about more opportunities to connect. So this is our amazing team of student support associates, I think all of whom or many of whom are on this call. They are very excited to begin talking to the students and the educators and the programs that are looking to start on a pathway. Our team of SSAs are Khadijah Hassan, Ashley Galvin, Eric Flores, and Juliana Porto. And so when a student visits the website, or a program or a provider goes on the website and fills out the inquiry form, one of our SSAs at Neighborhood Villages will reach out to have a conversation about what your goals are, what your different needs are, and then share different options that are available. And they are very much looking forward to connecting with you all. So Eli, I'm gonna share my screen now, if that's okay, and go through the website. Thank you. One second.
And while you're pulling that up, I'll just take a minute to share. So I have gotten the question related to this initiative, if it's required that an educator or a program go through Neighborhood Villages. And I will say that it's not. If you or anyone else in the field already has an established relationship with a community college or a grant coordinator through Career Pathways, you may still work directly with that individual or that entity. This service and support is really designed to be, as Binal mentioned, kind of an air traffic control, a hub for those educators that are contacting multiple colleges and aren't sure, for example, when the next soonest class starts, or who maybe don't have a relationship and really aren't sure where to go or what the next step is. Or maybe they have contacted their nearby college, but they haven't found that there's capacity or courses at the times that they need them, and they need a referral. So I just wanted to take a moment to mention that.
Thank you, Allison. And also there's a question in the chat about sending postings to be added to the job board. Yes, that is a feature of the website that we are building out. It's not live yet, but I encourage you to definitely check back, and we will notify everyone when that feature is available. So let me start here. I'm going to show in two different browsers because I just want to show right now the best ways to translate the website. And then we will also have the website fully translated next week. So when you go to the website right now, there is a pop-up that comes up that has information about how to translate. And starting Monday, November 22nd, the website will be translated in Spanish and Portuguese. For right now, there are instructions on how to translate on Chrome, Safari, and an iPhone or iPad. So I'm on Safari right now. There is a button up here. It looks like a star and an A. That's the translation button where you can then choose to translate in Spanish or go to a different preferred language. And they have a list of different languages that you can add to. You can add multiple languages to translate to. I'm just going to show you if this button right here does not show up initially on Safari. If you go to view and translation, you can also access that same information to translate the site. Let me jump to now. Sorry, there's no clean way to do it other than stopping the share. There we go. So on Chrome, the easiest way to translate is to right-click on the browser. And there is also an option, if you scroll down, to translate to different languages. And there's different options of languages that you can select from. So I'm going to stay on the English site right now. This is the Professional Pathways website. Again, it's eecprofessionalpathways.com. Allison, if you can put that in the chat so people can see, thank you. And as you scroll down, you'll see the three audiences that I was referring to. So students and educators can click on this link. The programs and providers, EEC programs and providers can go here, and the higher education and workforce providers can go here. There are also links for each group at the top of the website. So for students and educators, if you click on the link, you will see the information about what this program and page can provide. As I mentioned, we are hoping to build out the job board very soon, and so that will be coming soon to the site. And then if you click on the inquiry form to get started, there's some contact information, demographic information, and then really just what type of program the person is looking for. And this information will go directly to our SSAs, who will then reach out to connect with you, gather more information, and then give options of different pathways. For a EEC program or provider, very similarly, if you click on the link to that page, there's information for the programs about what you might be looking for, and another form to get started, asking about the cohort that's being requested, maybe the name of the course that cohort is looking for, any specific time frame or language preferences, and then just contact information for whoever is filling out the form so we can reach out and connect about different options. And then similarly for the higher education and workforce boards, also a very similar inquiry form to gather more information. And then one of our professional pathways staff would reach out to connect about potential partnerships, whether it's a high school or a workforce development board, in really providing the information needed for their individuals. And finally, just some quick links at the bottom of the website to learn more information about EEC and neighborhood villages, but also about the Career Pathways Grant itself and about the EEC scholarship. There is also at the very top, just a general contact us form if you just want to reach out and contact us about information about the site, if you're not necessarily a student or a provider, and just want to reach out to us to connect and learn more information, feel free to fill out the contact us site and we're happy to connect. Great. I think Eli, if we want to jump to the questions.
Great. I am going to give some instructions for all of us to get connected to the polling. And so the screen that you see right now is the PowerPoint slide with instructions on connecting to the survey that we'll be using. We're using Poll Everywhere, which allows all of us to see the responses that are provided and process them in real time. So it gives that level of transparency around the responses that we're collecting, but it also gives us a chance to hear from all of you at the same time in a short period of time. And so it is a live survey. You do not have to include your name. It's anonymous, but the responses will be displayed on the screen as we go. And there are two ways to participate. The first is to use a mobile phone or a texting service, and you would text the word early education, all one word, no space, to the number 22333. The second way to participate is on a web browser, and I will put a link in the chat so that it's easy just to click the link if you like, or if you need to type it in on your browser, you will go to pollev, pollev.com/early education. Again, early education is all one word. So I will give everyone a chance to get connected and then we will move to the questions. And let us know in the chat if you have any trouble. I will switch to look at our questions and answers and turn back to our wonderful facilitators. So I don't know, Allison or Beanal, do one of you want to process the results as they come in?
Yeah, I'm happy to.
Okay.
So I'm seeing overall that folks are saying that they've referred colleagues to the program. Some folks are saying no, but others are definitely reflecting that they've participated in it to in one of the two programs to be able to receive their associates or even beyond. Awesome. Someone got their bachelor's degree through the program. Great. Folks have taken courses, even if they haven't necessarily completed a degree. Great. I'm glad to hear that family childcare, it sounds like across our different settings and sectors that people have taken advantage of the programs. Enrolled teachers and scholarship. Yes, many educators have participated. It's wonderful. I know often as I'm processing scholarships, I tend to see a lot of the same programs, program administrators come up again and again for the verification that we have to do. So I'm really, really glad that folks are encouraging their educators to participate. No? Okay. Well, when you contact the SSAs as part of the Neighborhood Villages program, as well as the colleges, they will certainly support you all in answering questions related to either of these financial supports. So thank you for sharing. We can go to the next question.
Okay, great. So where is the value in the work that Beanal and Allison have described today? Where do you see the most value from having this new support?
There's some of the things that you get.
We wait for responses to come in. I know that sometimes it can take a little while to digest, and I'm sure that many of you are eager to get into the website and start exploring yourselves. So we certainly encourage that. Okay, having a central hub, the process has been confusing. We totally acknowledge that. Going to one place, it will take less time to figure it out for educators, easier to find courses. will help our broader goal related to the strategic plan. Streamline connecting educators. Yep. Guidance for educators who would benefit from language assistance. Yes. Connection, ease of access. Having someone guide you. Yep. Helping educators find their best pathway. Yep. Helping to support your work, knowing the many, many hats that you all wear. We can take some of that burden off of you all, of course. Easier to find courses, streamlining, easier to connect. I'm so glad that you guys are all having these reflections. One of the things that the SSAs have been working on too is really learning about the unique culture and kind of format and value system at each of the colleges, knowing that programs are different and services and supports that they offer are unique based on each institution, so that they can take all of that into consideration around what an educator's goals are too. So taking this off the director's plate, yep. Supporting educators and being successful. Yeah, definitely. We certainly don't want to hear that educators are having trouble in accessing what it is that they need to, for example, obtain TQ qualifications, and they get tired of it and leave their role or don't pursue higher levels of credentials. We want to take on that burden and make it easier for them to be able to successfully get into courses. Yep. Connecting people to aid, supporting unique learning needs. Great. Thank you, guys. Okay, next question.
What are the courses that educators will be most interested in if you were guessing, or in your opinion?
CDA and atypical development, behavior management, child development, curriculum, courses, of course, that lead to certification, leadership, relationship building. Nice. Child development. We hear that a lot. We get a lot of urgent inquiries for people looking for child growth and development. Yep. Behavior management, childhood mental health, supporting a degree attainment. Yep. Working with children with disabilities, cultural diversity, foundational coursework, social and emotional, behavior management, assessment and classroom management, trauma-informed practice, child guidance, mixed ages, special needs, trauma-informed care. Great. And in toddler courses, working with families, definitely. Attaining teacher, lead teacher, yeah, etc. Director 1 and 2, yep. Play-based learning, outdoor learning, HR for directors, that's a great one. School age specific courses, yeah. Child growth and development, challenging behaviors, behavior management assessment, social and emotional, anti-bias curriculum, yeah. Equity and inclusion. I should share too that I'm seeing a lot of familiar names on this meeting as well from our college partners. And I know that they're all working on, they have either been developing or in the process of adding courses still for their spring semester. So they're definitely hearing this feedback as well. Yep. Tie in the pyramid model. Yep. Developmentally appropriate practice. Yep. Great. Well, thank you. I appreciate this feedback. I know that across the upcoming semesters, there's definitely a good array of courses that focus on these various content and pedagogical areas. So that is definitely something that the team can help to make referrals for you all on. HR for directors. Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. We'll keep your feedback coming. I think we'll move on to the next question. So what will be most helpful in programs seeking to hire qualified educators? Funding, compensation, Being able to hire someone quickly who's qualified or getting them qualified quickly. Yep. Responsive query checks, competency-based evaluations, compensation. Yep.
You could do it a couple of days.
Definitely hear that. Paying teachers a livable wage.
Bengani,
System agencies giving more funding for FCCs. I think others would argue across all settings. Training to help teach basic competencies as well as supervision skills. Yep. Thank you for all of this feedback. Federal funds, money. Definitely hear that theme, and I think we're all waiting and following what's happening in DC at this time. So demands, prioritizing childcare for educators, so other job-related supports. Having applicants show up and stay in the positions for which they're hired, of course. Yep, benefits. Mental health supports for educators, learning disability supports, yes. And I think that you guys will find too that a lot of the colleges that Neighborhood Villages will be referring to provide, like I mentioned before, a lot of academic and non-academic support. So tutoring, peer mentors, communities of practice. So there's a lot of wraparound supports for educators who want to take courses. Ensuring joyful programming, yes, not losing the fun in the practice. Finding qualified candidates, speeding up the process, mental health supports. Okay, wonderful. Well, thank you for all of that feedback. I can say that EEC certainly recognizes that there's not only value in funding the specific coursework. For example, the ECE scholarship program does that. It's a tuition-based incentive program, but also all of the associated supports to make sure that an educator feels ready, that they feel supported during and throughout their coursework. And that's been one of the great efforts of the career pathways, the work through career pathways the colleges have done to really provide those supports. Okay, thank you. Keep these responses coming. Next. What has been your experience with hiring staff over the last 6 months, if applicable? Childcare for their own educators. It's been frustrating. Impossible. A lot of no-shows for interviews. That's unfortunate. Not being certified or wanting a different rate. Very few candidates. Even with wage increases, people aren't showing up. Lack of applicants in general. No-shows. It seems like a lot of you are seeing that. Yeah. The referrals make a difference. No response to ads, no shows. So the typical marketing and recruitment efforts that you have tried are not working. That's great. Let's see, finding bilingual candidates, pay rates, wanting more than the programs can afford to pay. So financing challenges. People with no experience are applying. So you've got brand new educators to the field where this initiative will definitely help. Other industries are paying more, so you're competing with them. Not all educators recognize the work or the value of the work. Yeah, finding qualified individuals. Definitely. Thank you for all of that feedback. Okay, next question. What questions do you still have about professional pathways and the information that we have shared with you all today? We certainly thank you all also for sharing with us. While we're waiting for responses, I'll certainly share that we apologize for the translation not being more easily accessible. There's been a bit of a tech platform change. And so if you have any concerns related to that, I would say when in doubt, just call the team, right? That we want to be accessible and available to you all. Okay, so explain the role of PDCs. Will there be a flyer or a simple email that you guys can share, distribute? It's a great idea. Let's see, clear presentation. Administrators want opportunities for education. Yep. Guidance for the staffing issues in the field. Does an educator need to be a resident of Massachusetts? Let's see. Questions. Yep, once you try to figure it out. Turnaround time. Let's see. For those of you who are just joining, I would definitely recommend this event is being recorded, so you'll have an opportunity to go back and to listen to the pieces that you missed, as well as to get onto the website. Will the individuals who work with neighborhood villages maintain a folder so that the contact information feels more continuous? Yes, yes. What I'll share too is that there's a lot of really great questions and feedback here. I think that what we'll probably try to do is capture all of this and put together, expand the FAQs and the information that we shared earlier in the presentation and be able to get those out to you all in a EEC Commissioner's News Blast or other subsequent engagement events. So definitely stay tuned for that. Programs opt to be referred to student interns during practicum. Yeah, definitely. I know that a lot of our colleges, they've got folks that are, looking for placement, whether it be for practicum or job placement. So we'll definitely be working in a coordinated way there. Make finding CPR first aid classes easier. I know that our colleges do also help with some of these services as well. They know the exact location, hours of the sites that are in their communities and can talk with you all about that. Something for high school seniors. Yeah, definitely. We are doing some great work in the colleges are with Chapter 74 and various high school programs. So love that idea. Always work that can expand. Advanced degree options. Thank you.
Alison, we can definitely also build in some of the FAQs. There's such great questions that have been asked on the website. And also it sounds like just a quick one page or a quick reference for directors or administrators to share with educators. We can work on that too.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, keep your questions going. We're definitely, you guys are hearing this information hot off the press. This is, as we've mentioned today, the first day of the launch of the website. And so your questions and your feedback here are definitely going to help us to be able to get you the resources and the tools to share this information among your colleagues and your staff. So thank you. Okay. Well, that concludes our agenda today. So I really wanted to thank you all for attending, for your thoughtful feedback and your questions. I hope that this information has been helpful, and we look forward to working with you all as we launch the program. So definitely spread the word that our SSAs are available for calls and referrals. And thank you. Have a great weekend, everyone. Thank you.